Happy. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hope you are nice and cool if it's hot where you are, or cuddled up and warm if it's cold where you are. It is. We finally seem to be losing some of the summer heat. It is actually 100 today, but it looks like it is not going to be going over 100 too much anymore. So that's a positive. I'm sorry, I should have gotten a drink beforehand because it is still warm, so. Nice refreshing water. All right. So I kind of went back and forth on what tonight's stream was going to be. First, I thought I would do another squiggle drawing, but I'm going to save that one. I'm going to do more squiggle drawings, but I'm not going to do one tonight. And then I thought maybe I'll work on the skull more. And then I kind of thought, oh, you know what? I haven't worked on the rat since I did the. I don't know what those would be. Are those like thick pencils? Yeah, I guess those are thick pencils on it. So I think I'm going to do some of the hat hole home video rat this evening. Bear with me a minute. I did something a little different here. Normally, I start streaming right when I'm posting things, but I did things a little differently tonight, and I decided to start talking a little bit ahead of time. That way, it kind of gives the announcement to anybody who's actually subscribed, which I don't think is that many people. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I think there's 10 people. I think I have 10. I may have more. I don't remember. I don't remember. Sorry, I'm going to scratch near the mic because it's itchy. Okay. Anyway, so normally I post right when I'm right when I'm about to start, as opposed to talking a ways ahead. But tonight I decided to start a little earlier. So that, of course, means that now me trying to concentrate on posting the clips to the stream in different places is a little bit tougher because I have to try to concentrate, which I am not so great at. Okay, there we go. I think that's posted in all the Discords that I need to post in. I mean, there's so many of them. You know what? I guess I'll put one here too. Let me put this here, post that. I don't know. Maybe I should do. Maybe I'll see who shows up, and maybe I'll put it to a vote. And if only one person shows up, that person runs the stream. So, big incentive there, anybody who shows up. Or not. But you know what? That's not a bad idea. I guess I could just ask people and see if anybody cares. They may not care. Nobody may show up, so nobody may care. In which case, I'll just go ahead and do probably the rat, which was my first idea. But let's see. That's not a bad idea, actually. In fact, I should have posted. This is how bad I am at this type of thing. I just don't post very well. I'm just not a great poster. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so let me just grab one of those links that I posted somewhere else. Okay. And I will copy this text, and I will jump over to the tweeters, and I will say, our stream happening right here. My stream happening right now. If anyone shows up, they get to vote on what I'm doing. They get to vote on what I draw. Okay, and then I'll just have a link there. That's a nice little incentive, I think, to give it a little bit of audience participation points. So let me just go ahead and post that. Patrick Nagel. I love Patrick Nagel. Great artist. Great 80s artist. If you have never seen a Patrick Nagel, I mean, it's not for everybody. I understand that. But I love Patrick Nagel. I think his artwork is just fantastic. It's I only say that I'm not only say, I actually have a Nagel print behind me. I did buy. I don't know what the name of it is. I'm looking right at it. I don't know what. I don't know what the name of it is, to be honest. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find out what it's called. So if anybody's interested, you would be able to see for yourself. Let's take a look. I mean, I think it's one of his more well. I mean, the most well-known Patrick Nagel is probably the Duran Duran cover. That's what most the Rio cover. That's what most people probably know. But oh, I guess yeah, Duran Duran. That's probably it. Apologize for yawning again. I don't know why I'm yawning. Yeah, unfortunately, there's now a lot of copycats of his work, so it's actually tough to. I mean, you will find his work if you search for Patrick Nagel on Google. You will find it. But you will also find a lot of really junky copycat modern people who can't do any better than copying another artist to establish an actual style. And so they just copy him, which I don't know if you can sense the irritation in my voice at that, but it does irritate me a bit. Hard enough to establish an actual, legitimate style without people coming along and just stealing it. And I don't know. I won't start in on the debate again about inspiration versus what's the word for it? What is the word I'm looking for? Inspiration versus appropriation, I guess would be the word. I know that's a sensitive word, but I think it's the right one in this context. I cannot find this image. That's really strange. Huh. I don't. Huh. I would have thought this one would come up. I thought this was a fairly. Oh, there it is. Okay. What's the name of this piece? What is it called? It's apparently number 80. Yeah, 80. Patrick Nagel, 80. Looks like that's it. Let me take a look. Or wait, or is that the year? I could be wrong. It could be the year. Apparently that's the. Oh no! Wait. Maybe. Hold on. Let's see. No, it doesn't. Wow, he was only 38 when he had a heart attack. What a shame. He had such a cool style. No, I can't find the. Sorry, guys, I can't find the name of the image. Anyway, it's a woman who has a dress on that's kind of black and gold striped. I don't know how else to describe it. If you look around, I had to look for Patrick Nagel woman, and when I did that, then it came up, and I found it at a couple of places. It came up. So sorry, I don't have more to go on than that, but that's what it is. Well, I don't. Nobody has. I'm doing this stream a little later, so maybe just nobody is up or nobody is bothering to stop by. So I guess it's going to be up to me to pick what I'm going to draw. I actually thought it was kind of a neat idea that if somebody showed up, they could pick it. But again, this is later. God, I'm yawning like I'm tired, which I'm not. I don't know why that happens. Sorry. Crisp, cool water. Really nothing like it when you're thirsty and it's warm. Anyway, we'll give this another few minutes here. I'll let it hit the 10-minute mark, and then I will roll my little intro. Oh, wait. Somebody showed up. Somebody showed up, which means that person, if no one shows up in the next 90 seconds or so, this person has the option. Not going to force anybody to. I won't make you do anything. But I will give you, if you are the only one here, the choice on what I'm going to draw. So I'll give you basically 2 options, 3 options. 2 options. No. 3 options. I'll give you 3 options. 2 options is a little limiting. It's kind of a binary thing. You almost flip a coin. 3 options, you actually have to think a little bit. You have to consider. Pick something. So we'll go ahead and roll our little thing. Right about now. Okay, I'm going to try to time this so that this finishes right about at the 10-minute mark. Because I know it's supposed to be 45 seconds, even though I've taken the timer off. So we'll let this roll for a minute. I think I can just speed this up. I think I can take this and just speed it up, and that will solve the problem. Since there's really not a timer involved anymore, I can just make it faster. So maybe it's only a 15-second intro instead of a 45-second intro. Because originally this was supposed to be so that people had time to join, but now I just ramble for however long before they do, so it's not really a necessity for that. So I'll wait for this to fade out. Hopefully I've timed this just about right. We'll see. 8, 2-second fade out. There we go. Okay. So, the one person who's here, you get to pick what I'm going to do. So this is option 1. This is the Hat Hole Home Video Alley Rat. I mean, I'm not going to do the whole thing tonight, but there's that image. And then you have the option of that, or where is... Oh, okay. That, or I can do the squiggle, a squiggle drawing based off of... Here, let me clear that. That. Okay? Or I can continue with the... Is this the skull? No, that's not the skull. Where's the skull? Oh, there it is. It's right in front of me. Or I can keep going on the skull. So I'm going to give you about a minute, and you can decide which drawing I'm going to do. And if you don't want to pick anything after the minute, starting right now, so you have until the 12-minute mark, or about 60 seconds from now. I'll give you a 10-second countdown. You don't pick anything, I'm just going to pick something. However, if you want, the options are the alley rat, the squiggle drawing, or the skull. So, well, I yawn for no reason, because I'm not tired. I don't understand. And I'm not bored, because I'm about to draw. Like, I'm ready to go. So I don't know where this yawning comes from. Maybe it's because the room I'm in is actually nice and cool. There's a fan running. It is completely blue with the various LED lights that are surrounding me. My computer's fan lights are blue. The backlighting on the monitor is blue. I've got 2 of the LED stand lights that are blue. So it's a very blue room, but I don't associate blue with necessarily being tired. 10 seconds, by the way. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and any picks? If not, I guess I'll just continue with the skull because I'm on this. Actually, I said I was going to do the rat. What was I going to do? Let's think about this for a minute. What do I want to do? You know what? Let's keep going on the skull. We can probably wrap up a good portion of the skull. So I'm going to continue with the skull. Okay. So let me get my pen here. And let's make sure our sizes are correct. We have to keep going on the rings. So let me do a quick check. I am on the ring. Uh-oh. What did I do there? Oh, look at that. I made a mistake. Not a big mistake, but still a mistake. Let's kick the background color up. Let's knock that. Oh, that's not background. That's background. I accidentally did rings on the detail layer. How many did I do like that? Oh, just the one? All right, so we're going to duplicate this layer. Let's turn off that layer. And let's go ahead and fix that really dumb error. So we're going to turn off bink, 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 bink. Yeah, that tells you exactly. Whoa, wait a minute. Really? Okay, so I did a couple things. Okay. Let's get our eraser. Let's jump in here, and we're going to clean this up. And we'll clean these squiggles up. This is very quick. That's one of the reasons I like to do a layer check when I first start. I start back into something to make sure I don't continue an error. Because if you don't think I've done that, then you haven't been watching very long, because I've done it many times where I've been on the wrong layer and just kept going and didn't realize. Fortunately, because an iPad, this is very easy to correct, because assuming you have enough layers to be able to do a duplication, and you really should, because you only have to do one. So you just duplicate the layer and you just erase the mistake. So what I'm doing here is I'm subtracting everything that isn't classified as a ring, and then I'll just incorporate this into the ring layer. So this is not a huge deal. Okay, so those are not rings. So let's go ahead and bump up to a higher painting level. And we're just going to just clean this out very carefully in some spots, though. Don't want to erase the good stuff, but anything that's not a ring is coming out. And then what I'll do is I'll simply take this layer and I will fold it into the ring layer. And then we'll be done. So, nice easy way to check. And we're good. So now we'll pull up the rings. So see, it's supposed to be in there. And then we'll do a merge down, and then we'll rename this to rings again. And now, very easily, I have corrected my earlier error. Okay, so now we're back to rings. Let's punch the colors back in. Okay, let's drop that background out. And I believe I had the brush correct for the, or sorry, the pen correct. Let me just verify. Yes. Okay. You know what? Hold on. I somehow managed to put the transmitter for the wireless mic in exactly the wrong spot. So bear with me. I'm going to move this over. I mean, really, it's just kind of hilarious that I managed to put it in a really bad spot. So let me just move this a bit. Okay, there. Now it's out of the way. I mean, amazing. I managed to... Well, now I'm bouncing into the mic all over the place. Okay, sorry. Amazing that I... What did I just do? Oh, I see what I did. Here we go. Okay. Sorry. All right, back to it. Let's actually finally start drawing something here. Okay, so we're doing some rings. So how do we want... We're going to follow this black pattern, I think. All right, here we go. So we'll just follow this along. So just making some rings. Because there's really not... I may end up taking out some of the lines that I put into this skull. Because I feel like maybe I overdid it in the main part up here. There might be a little too much going on in there, which I didn't really think about. I don't know. I haven't settled on that yet. We'll see. I mean, the nice part is I have the option to just drop it out entirely if I want. I could just drop this all out if I really don't think it's working and not have to have it. That's the nice part about having all the different layers. So we'll see. I haven't made that determination yet. Oh, man, my shoulder is really itchy. Okay, sorry. So let's see. I'm going to try something here. Let's just go from this side and see if it's any easier. It probably isn't. Because no matter what, the only bad thing, I mean, not the only bad thing, but is it does, my fingers often with small scale stuff, my fingers kind of obstruct my view. Ooh, I don't like that at all. Okay, we're going to do this. We'll just stick with what I know works. Not a good idea to start messing with things if I don't need to. Jeez, wow, I guess my rings are really off tonight. Really off. Nope, that's completely wrong. There we go. That's better. Really don't know why. But they were not working. So now I'm kind of working a little bit blind. Because the pen is actually, or the pencil, make sure you get your branding and marketing terms right, is sort of in the way. I don't mind that little dip in. Oh, jeez, of course. Of course, the thing decided to drop out. Give me a second, I'll get it back. Unbelievable. I don't know why this software is so Oh, you know what? I'm at 100% CPU. Yet another mystery that I can't figure out. Anyway, okay. Jeez, 1740. Go. Come on. Come on, come on back. There we go. Anyway. Yeah, so rings are a little off. Probably will not do a particularly long stream tonight because over the weekend I managed to... Oh, God, that's not good. I don't know why my rings are just not working for me tonight, but they're really kind of not so far. I'll fall into a rhythm. So anyway, over the weekend I managed to, as my wife and I think I've mentioned, we paint. So I have a shirt and shorts that I wear when we paint so that, I don't really care about getting them splattered or, or whatever with paint. And I was putting on the shorts and for whatever reason, I kind of slipped a little bit and managed to snag my left big toenail on, I guess, a thread or something on the shorts. And I had my weight going on it, so I just kept going forward and managed to pop the nail off the bottom of so basically pop the nail enough that it started to bleed. So my left foot is a little sore because the nail basically got ripped off the nail bed. Not bad. I mean, not severely. My left toe has seen many horrors, and so this is just the latest one. I mean, it didn't bleed badly. It's just bloody underneath. You can tell, and it doesn't look particularly pretty. But then again, my left toe has not looked particularly pretty probably since I was a very young man. So I don't really care about that so much. But it is a little bit sore. That's a little bit more annoying than the fact that it doesn't look all that great. More the, fact that it's throbbing at the moment. But I'm not really going to complain. Not really, because, I could have literally torn it off or really torn it to the point where it couldn't go back on. This was not that severe. I've done worse to it. So it's an annoyance, certainly. But by no means is it any kind of serious injury. I was actually pretty surprised that the next day it really didn't bother me for most of the day. I thought it was going, because usually if you cut yourself, injure yourself, whatever, usually the next 2 or 3 days are worse than when you actually do it in most cases. Usually once your body starts healing itself or has gotten over the initial shock of the injury, then your body, usually it hurts. Cuts that I've had have usually been far worse on the 3rd and 4th day than they ever were on the 1st day, in most cases. So I was kind of gearing myself up for having a very, very nasty Monday and Tuesday. And honestly, it really, again, and this is what I mean about I got lucky, really hasn't been that bad. Not compared to what I was dreading, let's put it like that. So, and don't get me wrong, I wish that I hadn't done it, but it's not pleasant by any stretch of the imagination, but it's really not that bad. So, yeah, it seems to feel a little better when I elevate it, which is not something I can do when I'm streaming. So I probably won't do a particularly long stream this evening so that I can just go and put my foot up, and because my goal is to try to not irritate it further, because I think I got lucky that it did not completely rip off or be in a state where it's hanging by such a thread that I have to be very hey, look, I can walk, so I'm not complaining that much. That's the long and short of it. It could have been so bad that I'm not able to walk. I can walk, so I don't want to complain too much. But at the same time, there is a slight level of discomfort, so I'm not going to go too far tonight. So actually doing the skull is probably good, because the skull I can kind of stop any time with this and it won't be a big deal. So, yeah. So, yeah, this will not be a particularly long stream. That's okay. I've done a couple of longer streams lately, so I can do a shorter one. So probably better I didn't do the squiggle anyway, because the squiggles are really fun, and I will get carried away with those. So, but I may do the squiggle on the next one, so we'll see. I'm just curious about something, and I'm not trying to force anyone. I'm really not into any kind of social interaction, but I'm always suspicious when it says one viewer that maybe there isn't actually somebody watching, which is fine. That's okay. Is somebody actually watching right now or listening? I'm just curious, because I see the one viewer a lot, and I just don't know if I believe it. I don't know, because this software seems quirky. So I don't know if somehow me streaming is being interpreted as a viewer. So I'm just curious, but don't do anything you're not comfortable with. But if you are in fact there, you just type a letter out or something. I'm just curious. But if not, it's fine. I just don't know. I think I mentioned this on one of the past 2 or 3 streams that I was looking at a piece of streaming software. It's supposed to be very good. It's just very expensive. And so I'm sure with this type of, oh, hey man, how you doing? That's fine. I'm just curious. I just don't know if this is I never know if this is a real number. So I'm always kind of like, is there a viewer? Is there not? I don't know. So I'm always dubious when it's just a one viewer thing. I always kind of suspect that the software is, since it seems to have these little hiccups that are already untrustworthy, like the 100% CPU utilization, which I'm just not going to let go of. I know I complain about that maybe every stream, so I apologize, but I'm going to keep complaining about it because it doesn't make any sense. This is not an old machine. It should not be currently at 96.8%. Ridiculous. I'm not doing that much. I'm really not. I'm just drawing rings on a skull, man. Anyway. So thank you, though, for saying that, because that makes me actually believe that number was real. Okay, there's something there. I know you can see it too. Oh, okay, it's just a ring. All right, we're okay. Probably people that are not logged in or have a, maybe. So right now it just says 1. It said 1 for a while, and if you just got here, then maybe it's not counting you. So maybe it's actually 2, or that 1 is some kind of phantom number. I don't know. I almost wonder if it's... No, they wouldn't do that. There's no way. I was going to say, it's almost something where I wonder if the software wants you to think there's a viewer so you won't stop streaming, because if you stop streaming, then you're not using Twitch. That seems like a psychotically conspiracy theory idea. But then again, Twitch is owned by Amazon, so I don't know. I'm just saying, there is a psychological factor involved when there's a number there. So I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past Amazon to try to, or Twitch or whoever. I don't know if, they always say these companies stay independent. Who knows whether it really is. But whoever, it would not surprise me if that was a little bit of a psychological thing. Maybe it is somebody without an account. Maybe the one. That's what I'm wondering. No, you say that, but it must have been before you got here. That's possible. I don't know that this software, because it's still in beta. This is still considered a beta product. It is possible that the software at certain times interprets the streamer as a viewer. I mean, technically, I'm looking at my screen every so often to make sure that I'm still streaming, but I don't think that should count. But see, it still just says 1 viewer. So I don't know. I don't really care either. It's more of just obviously, if I was trolling for viewers, I would, be paying for bots and doing whatever it is that influencers TM do to get views. Well, number one, I don't know how to, and I'm never going to put forth that much effort. So yeah, maybe it is me. Maybe I am the one. Fortunately, unlike the Highlander, I almost said unfortunately like the Highlander, but fortunately, unlike the Highlander, there can be more than one. I do not have to be the only one. I haven't watched that movie in a while. I should watch it again. Great movie. I love the original Highlander. I frankly love Highlander 2 as well, even though I know it's junk. I cannot resist Michael Ironside being a complete lunatic. Weird. I've been in before and seen some sound. Yeah, maybe. It's possible. Okay, wait. Actually, this is a good question. All right. What number do you see from your side? What do you see there? Do you see a 1 or do you see a 2? I never even thought about asking it from this angle. That's a fantastic question that I just came up with. They are on it. Oh, the Highlanders. Yeah, I know. That's why I thought of it, because I saw that the other night. For now, until HBO just decides to nuke every good movie that's on there, or AT&T, I guess I should say. Fools. Yes, I know they're on there. I mean, I own them anyway, so I could watch them anytime they're on my Plex server. But yes, I did see they were on HBO. Right now, I see a 1. Okay, well then what you're seeing lines up with what I'm seeing, so that's fine. So at least that validates that the numbers I'm seeing match the numbers that you're seeing. So that's fine. Like I said, I'm just sort of curious because, and maybe it is that just people, and I understand that. I really do, that people don't necessarily want to interact. That's fine. I do that a lot too. When I watch certain Twitch streams, I don't watch a lot of Twitch, I'll be honest, because I don't get the watching people game live thing. I watch gameplay videos, but I prefer the ones after the fact, when somebody's already finished the recording. I don't really know why. I can't pinpoint a reason why. It says 1, but 2 people. How do you know what do you mean there's 2 people here? I only see 1 person. Who's the second person? I mean, there's me and you, but it's not counting. You mean there's somebody else besides you in here? This is baffling. This is how little I understand anything on how all this stuff works. I have no idea what's going on. It says 1, but 2 people are here. Who's the other person? Wait, they're where? Where do you see the other person? I only see 1. And I only see 1 chat thing. So where's the other person? I'm baffled. Oh, this is a fun stream. Listen to Joe not understand technology that I'm sure a 10-year-old would be able to explain with no effort whatsoever. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know who the second person is. I There's you, artificial for anybody who's paying attention. That's who I'm talking to because that's the chats I'm seeing. So unless this isn't interfacing correctly on the other end, I hope nobody else is talking and I don't see it. I apologize if you are. It was not on purpose because it's only showing me one person talking and it's only saying that there's one viewer. So I don't know what's going on, man. This is why I just sit here and draw lines because I don't know what's going on. It's insanity, man. That's a bad line. I'm getting rid of that line. I don't like it. Too close. Yeah, Highlander films. I just watched. I purchased the magnificent Cynthia Rothrock film, Righting Wrongs. F. Topier. Well, hello, F. Topier. I don't know why you don't show up as a person. I apologize. Twitch has decided that you are not worthy of being counted, which I have an issue with, but have no actual power to fix. So that sucks. But thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Yeah, maybe it is a thing where non-logged in accounts don't show up on this. I don't know. So anyway, Righting Wrongs was put out by Vinegar Syndrome, a fantastic 3-disc edition, which disc 1 is the shorter cut of the film, which many people, I believe it is referred to as the Chinese cut, maybe? I don't remember. There's different names for the different cuts. And then there's a longer cut, which is it's right around 2 hours. I don't know if it is quite 2 hours, but it's right around there. I don't remember whoa, no, not an eraser. And so initially I watched the 2-hour cut because, without spoiling the film for those who may not have seen it and may care about such things, the shorter cut is less happy of an ending, which I don't particularly like. I like my movies when there's people in them I like to have happier endings. So I watched the longer one, which has a happier ending, which I quite enjoyed. That is actually my preferred cut of the film, is the longer one. However, on the shorter cut is a new commentary that Cynthia Rothrock is part of. So, of course, I had to watch that. And it was great. And there, by the way, just as a complete, not related to drawing aside, an interior design, if you've never watched the movie, there's a character who has an apartment. And I am not kidding. If I ever win the lottery and build a house, because that's what I'd probably do, is I would have a house built, I will make my drawing room or my entertainment room, whatever, I will, as much as possible, because I assume if I win the lottery, I'm talking about big lottery, not $1,000. I'm talking about $40 million or whatever. I hit a big lottery, I'm getting that room replicated in that house as my entertainment room. It is amazing. The room has so many things about it that I love. The red furniture, because I love red. The train set, the floor to ceiling windows. I would even have the skyline that's outside of that replicated for the window. I would go the whole route. It would be like you were stepping into the film in that particular room. I will absolutely do that because that room is sensational and I love it. It's great. But anyway, the commentary is very good. Very good commentary. Because Rothrock had not watched the movie in quite a while, so she was kind of reacting to things on the screen. So it's not like and don't get me wrong, I love John Carpenter and Kurt Russell's commentaries, but some have found that they are, at times, perhaps not as focused on the film as they are at catching up on each other's children's soccer games. And I get why, if you're coming in to actually hear something about the film, you might bristle a bit at that. I find it very endearing, but I understand I'm not everybody. This one is definitely focused on Rothrock and the film and her career. So if you enjoy more topical commentaries and you love Cynthia Rothrock, which I do, and this, oh boy, does she look good in this film. Boy, does she look good in that movie. Righting Wrongs is an excellent Vinegar Syndrome release. They really do great releases, I have to say. I mean, I started buying stuff from them, oh, I don't remember how many years ago. And, their releases were good, but they have really figured it out now. They are just starting to get stuff that has been long out of release. I just, oh man, do I hope they get Yes Madam. If they get Yes Madam, I will pay any amount of money for that. Because I just want a nice, clean transfer of that. It would be unbelievable if they could get Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh to do the commentary together. I'm not even going to hope for that because I know it ain't going to happen. And I don't want to set myself up for disappointment, but that would be outstanding. Anyway, if I could just get a clean copy of it. In other words, if a nice 4K of Yes Madam, even if it's bare bones, nothing else except a nice new transfer that's pretty and looks good, nice color work, make sure everything looks really nice. That would be enough. If they can get Rothrock bare minimum, I'm good for commentary. If they get Cynthia Rothrock and somehow get Michelle Yeoh to do it, that would just be, I think my head would explode. But I ain't counting on that. I think there is, but now that they got Righting Wrongs, I almost feel like it's a setup for Yes Madam to be coming. I don't know. It just feels like they must have found somebody who's got access to these films to be able to do these releases, because they've been doing a lot of Rothrock stuff. They did Martial Law 1 and 2. They did the Tiger Claws trilogy. And now with Righting Wrongs, which is definitely, I mean, most people, I think, would put that in Rothrock's top 5. I would think. So if they got that one, I mean, the one that was the big hit before that was Yes Madam. And Michelle Yeoh certainly has never dipped in popularity, so it just kind of makes sense that the next thing you go after is the big ticket item, which is Yes Madam. Because, I mean, if you've never seen Yes Madam, oh boy, what a movie. I could spend hours on that film and how fantastic it is. I mean, just probably, I would have to say it's my favorite Cynthia Rothrock movie. I can't see that anything else beats it in terms of just delivering everything that I want. Rothrock in her prime. She's partnered up with Michelle Yeoh, who's also doing a lot of her own stuff. I mean, it's just some of the stunt work. It's great. It's great. Great movie. Great movie top to bottom. So I really hope VS is going after that next. I really hope that that's their next target. I'm sure they want to do it. I hope it's something that they can actually do. Of course, they're going to want to do it. If you're doing movies like Righting Wrongs and Martial Law and Tiger Claws, then of course you're going to want it. You're going to want Yes Madam. So I don't think it's a matter of them actively deciding they don't care. It's whether they can actually get that secured and get it done. But I really, really hope they are. And can have the possibility to, because their stuff has just been, particularly in the last couple of years, the Vinegar Syndrome catalog has been outstanding. I mean, really, they've done some great work, and I try to always mention it on Twitter. In fact, I don't know if I talked about Righting Wrongs on there. I think I did. I think I did mention them when I just gushed about how awesome it was on Twitter. I hope I did. I should check that. I should make sure, because I really like to try to appreciate people who are doing good work, and that is great work to get Righting Wrongs. I mean, Righting Wrongs is great. It looks great. Looks great. So, no complaints whatsoever. Okay, so I think our rings are done. So now we'll do some more. Where's my inner liner work here? Do some more work on the jaws, on the lower part. Just do some stuff here. I think I may have gone overboard on that top part. I don't know. I'm not gonna make a decision tonight. Did you watch the bonus salmon? No, I haven't yet. I've been meaning to, but we've been heavy into watching the X-Files, and so that has been monopolizing most of my watching time. But I'm going to. Stupid thing, because my wife's never seen the X-Files. She remembers it being on, but she never actually watched it. And we've been watching Evil, the Paramount Plus series, which is fantastic. And many times during the watching of that show, more than once. And my wife the other night said, okay, yeah, I got it. I get it now. I had said, this is the X-Files, except they've gone full occult. So the X-Files dabbled in the occult, but of course the X-Files the series' true love was aliens. You know, the alien conspiracy, that type of thing. That was where the real interest, I believe, X-Files was actually in aliens. But they did dabble with demons and the occult and stuff like that from, at different episodes. So it's not like they never did it, but you could tell it's not where the show's heart really was. The heart was in aliens. And so we were watching Evil when we hit the end of season, whatever the current season is, I don't remember. And so I said, well, I've been saying this over and over, and I'm not a nut. Let's watch the X-Files. And sure enough, my wife would very quickly said, "Yo, yeah, I can see it. This is the X-Files model." I'm like, yeah, it's a great formula. The believer and the disbeliever, and kind of, in the case of Evil, they have a third person, but essentially it's really about the believer and the disbeliever. And that's the X-Files model. So no, I have not watched the extra episodes yet, but I probably will this weekend at some point, because I know I'm going to have some time to watch a few things. So I do have to watch them. And plus I just want to, although I did watch the entire series, so that should be, for Netflix, evidence that I love the series. And luckily I did see something that Neil Gaiman, however you're supposed to say it, has said that they are going to, if Netflix declines a second season, they will shop it around to other places. And I would say start with Amazon, because Amazon apparently is willing to put out some money. So they do seem to be willing to spend on series. I mean, don't get me wrong, they cancel them too. Unfortunately, everybody does. But they also, you just look at the Lord of the Rings stuff, they're spending some serious cash on that. And the critical reception for Sandman was very good. I didn't see really any, outside of nitpicking, type of negatives on Sandman. So I think it's a fairly easy series to look at and say, yeah, we should grab that and acquire that, keep it going, because it's really good. If it ends on the first thing, it's still exceptional. I would have no problem. I would, but it wouldn't bother me if there isn't more Sandman, because I think they did a tease. They always have to. They can't resist it anymore for another season. But honestly, if it ended where the series ended on Netflix currently, not a bad place to end. I think it has an ending. It has enough of an ending that you don't necessarily need more. Of course, with a good series, you always want more, although that has its own perils. But it's not necessary. It didn't end on some massive cliffhanger where you go, wait a minute, the story, come on. Now our company has... You know what? Somebody had said, and I agree with this, that honestly, who cares about canon with this stuff? Just make good shows, and who cares if it all lines up or not? I kind of agree with that. I think there is I'm also not a purist with Lord of the Rings the way some people are, so I'm sure that fans will scream when I say that. I'm not all that beholden to Lord of the Rings, so I really don't care if they want to mess with it. Gandalf shows up and he's not supposed to for another 200 years. Yeah, okay. Whatever. It's fine. He can show up if that's in fact Gandalf that everybody's saying it is. It probably is. I don't know. And if it is, and the timeline, it's okay. Somebody made a very good point, which I don't know. I haven't read the books, but somebody had said that as a fan of Tolkien, you start to accept that even he was messing with his own continuity at times, that things did not always line up. Well, if the guy writing the books, if the mastermind of the entire thing wasn't all that on top of, trying to keep the continuity straight, and that makes sense because it always seemed like maybe Tolkien's biggest interest was in making the languages, then fine, whatever, sure. So if another company has it and they want to make something that contradicts this, if they want to make Gollum into a gang member in South Central LA in the mid-90s, go for it. Go for it. Menace to Precious, I don't care. Do whatever you want. That's okay. Because a lot of this stuff is going to get weeded out and forgotten anyway, but you may have somebody who, because I noticed that Vince Gilligan, the guy who's behind Breaking Bad, did an episode, or I think he did more than one, of X-Files. I'm like, oh, see, so even if it just gets somebody there starting something, then even if the show itself, not in the X-Files case, the X-Files is very good, but even if you make a crappy series, you can have good people that work on bad series, and it's their break-in, so what do I care? Go for it. Make more Lord of the Rings. I don't care. It's fine. Make more stuff. But yeah, the way the rights seem to be divided with that too, I'd be curious, what rights that other company even has, because it seems very strange, some of the caveats and catches that these rights seem to have, where you can only use this part of it or things related to quote unquote this. What does that even mean? It's ways for lawyers to make a bunch of money. So we'll see. Having said that, making a very obvious point that lawyers make a lot of money, I think this is about where I'm going to break, because like I said, my toe is not necessarily painful, but it's not exactly comfortable either, because I've been sitting here for about 45 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream here. And I think my next one I'll do another squiggle drawing. But I haven't decided yet. I usually say that, and then the next stream I do something completely random, so we'll see. In any event, thank you both, contrary to what my little thing says. Thank you both for stopping by. Stopping. It turned, what do you call it, parody Nazi for a minute there. Stopping. Thank you both for stopping by. Well, go to bed. Go to bed. I'm going to go put my foot up and relax. But thanks for coming by. And whenever and wherever you are, have a wonderful rest of whatever is left of wherever and whenever and however it is. That's a great sentence to end on. Have a great night, and we'll see you on the next stream.